as Melinda was talking about earlier, that we've kind of broken the creative process into this recursive, iterative process of play, plan, produce, that we're going to go in and out of those different uh, modes at different times, so that we're going to draw on our divergent thinking and our convergent thinking basically in every part of our creative process. The Syncreate project timeline is focused more on the convergent, because it's asking you to set some organizational goals or process goals to help you get where you want from, like, and as Melinda put in the book, it's, pulling the idea from the ether and down to the ground. Is that how do we pull our vision, those ideas, that younger self who really needed to hear that it was okay to be big and loud and needing attention. How can we turn that into a creative project that not only resonates for us, but resonates for the people who may view our work or read our work or hear our songs or hear our dances? Is that when we connect to that self that needed something, when we play and we connect to the kind of the younger self, we're doing something really profound. So just to kind of go over this a little bit. So if you were to take what you just did, connecting to your younger self, maybe you decide to turn that into a poem, and you could write that down as your project mission statement. And it could be like, I want to write the poem that my 12-year-old self needed. And so you could just write that there, and then you could start to break it down. I think a lot of people don't like something like this because they feel like it's maybe antithetical to the creative process, that they feel like true talent shouldn't be broken down into tasks and kind of externalized into an accountable timeline like this, because it's somehow, it's kind of undercutting the creative process. I think our position is that it's actually augmenting and empowering the creative process to break it down into incremental tasks, and empower yourself with the reality that good work takes time. So if you say, okay, I love this idea of a poem, but my week is hectic, so I'm going to start it on Saturday. And then task one might be, I'm going to journal about it for 20 minutes. Task two might be, I'm going to, think about 3 verbs that I love in it. And then what you do is you break any task down into this, into these incremental goals. And we truly believe, based on our own work, our work with each other, and our work with students and clients, that this is actually a way to kind of ramp up what you do. And the other super cool thing about this is that it documents your best practices, so that you have kind of a archival material for when the next time something strikes you and you want to create something. Oh, Jen, this is exactly what your younger self needed. What my younger self needed was a project timeline. I think that we have so many myths in our culture about what creativity is supposed to look like. And actually, a lot of those myths are really damaging and self-destructive, that it's the isolated, possibly addicted, possibly, romantically risky. I'm a player. I play with the arts. I play with people. And we're kind of in the philosophy, like, be as responsible to your creativity as you are to all the other relationships in your life. But creativity is something we have to tend. And we feel like this template is something that can really do that. A couple other things that we feel are really important. One is accountability partner. This is someone outside of you that you check in with on a regular basis, as someone who says, I believe you can do this. I believe this is an important thing that you're doing. And I would like to know what you're doing. What are your action steps to make this thing come into the world? So accountability partners are incredible. It's why a lot of people hire coaches and take classes. They're externalizing what they feel like they should be able to do intrinsically, but they've made it extrinsic. And that's what we think this do, is that this is what this do and make it good. No, that something like this makes you show up for yourself. An accountability partner can also help you show up for yourself. In the book, we talk about this a little bit more, but we recommend that it's probably not, it's someone that you have a semi-neutral relationship with. Like, it shouldn't necessarily be your spouse unless you have a super healthy relationship, because they might say, hey, have you worked on that poem? And you're like, you didn't take out the trash. So you need someone who's going to come and talk to you about it in a way that doesn't bring a lot of other layered or dual relationships or mini relationships to it. So accountability partnership is super cool. Again, it may not seem like how creativity works, but it really might be the way that creativity works. And then the other thing is just how I will celebrate. And we talk about this more in the book, but big celebrations, small celebrations, I believe that you should, the milestones, those are opportunities for celebration as well. If you have the means and it's something you enjoy, like massage is a fantastic way to celebrate time in, because you're asking your body to do so much by sitting there and writing. And Melinda as said earlier, maybe it's something you are going to share with the world, and maybe it's not. Maybe you write a memoir, and I'm not suggesting anyone here should be doing this, but maybe you write a memoir and you realize it's not something that you actually want to try to put out into the world, but your relationship to the past has shifted because of the process of writing and refining it. You should throw a party. Like, go out to dinner, let people know I did this thing. And even if you don't have a product that you're going to share with other people, the fact that you have completed something and kind of packaged it is incredibly potent. I know someone who wrote a 900-page draft of a novel, and she had a champagne party because that was a lot of work. We hope that this is something that's useful to you. We found it really useful in our process with each other, and we think it works.